The time has come to finally review the movie that tells the story of a nobody who saved everybody. Hey everyone, Lucamus Prime here. So it's time for another movie review today, and it's going to be for a brand new franchise. And this is for this time an animated franchise, which I've not done reviews for in a long while now. And this is for an animated film released, of course, in 2014. And this is one of my favourite animated films of all time, and it's time to review it. And this film, as you probably guessed by the cold opening of this video and the title and the thumbnail, is none other than 2014's The Lego Movie. So, and this was, of course, directed by Phil Lord and Christopher Miller. So, now, how was this film made? So, plans of a feature film based on Lego started in 2008, following a discussion between producers Dan Lin and Roy Lee, before Dan Lin then left Warner Bros. To form his own production company, Lin Pictures. By August 2009, it was announced that Dan and Kevin Hageman had begun writing the script, and it was officially greenlit by Warner Bros. In November 2011, with a planned 2014 release date. Chris McKay was brought on to co-direct the film in 2011 with Phil Lord and Christopher Miller, and later became the film's animation supervisor. The film was strongly inspired by the visual aesthetic and stylistics of brick films and qualities attributed to LEGO Studio sets. And while the directors wanted this film to be similar to a stop-motion film, everything in this film was done with CGI, with animation rigs following the same articulation limits actual LEGO figures have. While it's primarily an animated film, it does also feature live-action scenes taking place in the real world, and much were cast signed on to voice characters in 2012, while animation was provided by Animal Logic, which is expected to comprise 80% of the film. And the film was dedicated to Kathleen Fleming, may she rest in peace, the former director of entertainment development of the LEGO Company, who died in Cancun, Mexico in April 2013. Rest in peace. The film premiered in Los Angeles on February 1st, 2014, and was released in the United States on February 7th. It became a critical and commercial success, grossing $468.1 million worldwide against a $60 to $65 million budget, and received acclaim for its animation, story, humour, score and voice acting. The National Board of Review named the film as one of the top 10 films of the year. It also received a nomination for Best Original Song at the 87 Academy Awards, among numerous other accolades. And it's, of course, the start of a franchise of the same name. When it comes to my reaction to this film, so when this film, of course, first got announced and I saw trailers, I was hooked into wanting to watch this film immediately because it looked really funny. And as somebody who's a massive fan of Lego, because I've built sets, I've played the Lego games, I knew this was definitely a film I had to check out. So I went to see this film when it came out in the cinemas in 2014. And when I saw it, I absolutely loved it. This was definitely an absolute blast from start to finish, and I really loved this film. So, now what is this film about? So, a quick synopsis. The film tells the story of builder Emmett Brakowski, who is brought in this by Chris Pratt, an ordinary Lego figurine who always follows the rules, and he is mistakenly identified as the Special, an extraordinary being and the key to saving the world. He finds himself drafted into a fellowship of strangers who are on a mission to stop an evil tyrant, being Lord Business, who is voiced in this by Will Ferrell, who plans to conquer the world. Unfortunately for Emmett, he is hopelessly and hilariously unprepared for such a task, but he'll give it his all nonetheless. So, when it comes to what I think is great about this film, so I think the film has an absolutely amazing voice cast of actors. So, the main character, of course, as I just said, is Emmett Brakowski. There he is there. And he's voiced in this by Chris Pratt. And Emmett is easily my favourite voice role of Chris Pratt. And Emmett is definitely a special thing for me, really, because he's actually the character that introduced me to Chris Pratt. And I think Chris Pratt was very talented, did a really great job playing Emmett. He made him a very likeable character. And he was definitely very fun to watch. And I must say, very hilarious as well, really. Just really great to listen to. Chris Pratt's an absolute legend. And I also, as well, definitely love the addition of Will Ferrell as the film's villain, Lord Business. And I think he did a really great job playing Lord Business, and he made him a very funny and entertaining villain, and was a lot of fun to watch in this. Will Ferrell absolutely nailed his role in this, did a really great job playing him. I'd probably say it's my second favourite voice role of his after Megamind from the Megamind movie, because I think he did a really great job in this. And I also definitely love the addition as well of Will Arnett, of course, as the voice of Batman, because Batman appears in this as a supporting character. And he was definitely really funny in this, and just so much fun to watch, and definitely my favourite role of Will Arnett, because he made Batman such a really fun character to watch in this, and he'd of course get on spin-off 3 years later, and he's so much fun to watch, and with lots of funny gags in this concerning Batman, just had me laughing my head off a lot. Like, oh man, he was just so funny. And as a fun fact as well, guys, Morgan Freeman, who of course voices Vitruvius in this, and of course has been in the Batman and films being the Dark Knight trilogy as Lucius Fox, he actually said that this version of Batman is his favourite Potter character, which is pretty cool. So I definitely do love that. And speaking of that as well, I definitely saw a lovely addition of Morgan Freeman in this as the wizard Vitruvius. I definitely really loved Morgan Freeman's performance in this, and he's my favourite voice role of his. Because Morgan Freeman is a phenomenal actor, and I think he did a really great job voicing Vitruvius in this. And he was definitely a lot of fun to listen to, and pretty funny, I must say, too. Both wise and funny at the same time, really. And also as well, I also like the addition as well of Alison Brie as Unikitty as well. Unikitty was definitely, in my opinion, pretty funny as well, I must say. And Alison Brie did a really great job voicing her in this, and was definitely pretty funny. And of course, she's a hybrid of a unicorn and a cat, and she was definitely really funny, especially in the scenes where she gets angry as well, I must say. I also saw a live edition as well of Nick Offerman as Metalbeard. I thought he was pretty good in this too, I must say. I definitely really liked him, and he was definitely pretty funny too, I must say. That's definitely was my favourite role of Nick Offerman as well. And I also as well definitely really love the addition of Charlie Day as Benny, who of course is the 1980s something space guy, who is of course based on a classic space minifigure, and he is just so funny in this. And I especially love the scenes where of course he's constantly saying spaceship, spaceship, spaceship. Like, that made me laugh my head off so much seeing this. Yeah, Benny was just so funny. And when it comes to secondary villains, I also definitely as well loved as well Liam Neeson as bad cop and good cop. The police officer with a two-sided head. He was just so funny in this, and that's definitely my favourite voice role of Liam Neeson. And I think he did a really great job. And I think what's really cool is how he played both personas, good and bad. And when I see him, of course, in recording booth, he did it all right there on the go, just like that, which was brilliant, and did a really great job at it. And he made Bad Cop such a really funny villain, I must say. Especially, of course, in the scene where Emmett and Wildstar escape into Wild West, and then it causes all those cars to crash and explode, and Bad Cop goes, Don, 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 Donnie, Don! And then he kicks everything. That's just so funny. And he had lots of funny moments in this, I must say. He was just so much fun to listen to in this. Liam Neeson just really nailed his role in this. And when it comes as well to other characters in this who are master builders, who of course are the characters who are wanting to join forces to stop Lord Business, I love how he even got some DC characters in this as well as Batman. For example, we got Superman, Green Lantern, Wonder Woman, who are voiced in this by Channing Tatum, Jonah Hill, and Kobe Smulders, respectively. And I especially love how they got Channing Tatum and Jonah Hill in this, because obviously they, of course, are known for being in the Jump Street duology by the same directors, which is definitely really cool. So I love how they collaborated again as Superman and Green Lantern. It reminded me so much of their characters from the Jump Street films. It was definitely really funny, I must say. I love how he did that. That was just, in my opinion, a genius casting. And they did a really great job with that. And there's even other cameos too from other characters from different franchises in LEGO. So I definitely really love the cameo appearance as well from Star Wars characters in this. That was definitely a very nice surprise. I love how we even got Anthony Daniels and Billy Dee Williams to reprise their roles as C-3PO and Lando Calrissian. That was definitely an amazing surprise right there. I definitely love that. And when it comes to Han Solo, they got Keith Ferguson to reprise his role from Robot Chicken and other things too as him. And because I think he's a good sound like Harrison Ford, and it was pretty cool we got him in this as Han Solo. And there's also the other characters in this who have cameos, like for example Gandalf from the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit franchises, who is voiced in this by Todd Hanson. And also as well Dumbledore from Harry Potter. There's actually a pretty funny scene where, of course, Vitruvius mistakes Dumbledore and Gandalf for each other. It's actually pretty funny, I must say. And we know as well see Flash and Aquaman from DC as well in non-speaking cameos, and also Milhouse from The Simpsons, and also Michelangelo from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Speed Racer. We even also got a cameo appearance by Shaquille O'Neal as himself, which was pretty cool. I definitely love that addition. And in addition as well to this great voice cast of characters as well, I definitely as well think one of the highlights of this film for me is probably the animation. The animation for this film, in my opinion, was brilliant, and when I first saw this film at the cinema, I had no idea it was all CGI. I thought it was a stop-motion film, because it was that good in my opinion. And I say that because the figures literally move like a stop-motion, as of course they were meant to be in the development process. And they even also had detail on them, which made me think it was actual figures, such as like scratch marks, for example. So I definitely was very impressed with the animation for this. Also as well, I think the story is in my opinion fantastic as well. I think the idea of doing a film about Lego is a very creative idea. And it definitely, of course, is a film for lots of fans because Lego is a very popular brand. And I'm certainly a fan of that brand because I've got sets and I've played the games. So this is definitely a film for me, and I imagine it was a film for lots of other people as well. And I think the film also has tons and tons of funny moments. I've already mentioned some of them already with the characters. But there's plenty of others too, who really, many of them have made me die of laughter. Even from last night's rewatch, I still laughed to this day at this film because it has so many funny moments. And it's just an absolute joy to watch. And I also as well think the film has lots of great music as well, which is composed by Mark Mothersbaugh, who does a great job with the music. But I think this film definitely had a main highlight when it comes to songs. And that, of course, is the song Everything Is Awesome. Oh, I absolutely love that song. It's very catchy and was so much fun to listen to at the start of the film, of course, in the montage of Bricksburg where Emmett lives. A really great song. Is Any Wonder got nominated for an Oscar? In my opinion, it deserved to win because it was that great of a song. Like, just a really amazing song right there. And there's other great songs too, such as about Emmett's Morning and also the Saloons and Wagons music as well. And there's others too as well, really, in this. Like, so many great music to listen to in this. Mark Mothersbaugh, in my opinion, is a very talented composer. And also as well, I think what makes this film work really well is how it has lots of likeable characters who are great to listen to in this. There's only one character in this who I'm personally not a fan of, unfortunately, but I still think that a lot of characters, especially Emmett, are very likeable and fun to watch in this. And in my opinion, well developed, especially Emmett, in my opinion. And when it comes, of course, to how this film includes a live-action segments, it, of course, features Emmett going into a real world, where we see, of course, that this film is actually being played out by a boy called Finn. And what's actually pretty cool is he's actually based Lord Business on his own father, who of course, has a nickname, the man upstairs, who's actually played in real life by Will Ferrell, who voices Lord Business, so it's pretty cool, actually. Very nice parallel right there. And I definitely really love those scenes, really. It was definitely, in my opinion, very well done. And I definitely really enjoyed this because it had such a great story, and I think it was just so much fun, really, from start to finish. You know, great characters, a great story, and with great funny moments, which were done so well, in my opinion, not forced, nothing like that. I think they did a really great job of it in this. And I think as well, the world building was also excellent too. Like, for example, it paid homage to lots of previous sets by featuring lots of these franchises that Lego's done figures for. And also as well, locations too, in my opinion, were very well designed. For example, of course, the Wild West area, and also the city of Bricksburg itself, and also the Octon Tower, which of course is based on the fictional brand, and which is in Lego itself, Octon, which is pretty cool. And also Middle Zealand, of course, which was a joke referencing the fact that the Lord of the Rings films are filmed in New Zealand. Middle Earth is filmed in New Zealand, Middle Zealand, which was a pretty funny joke, I must say. And I think this film was done so well. And they did a really great job with it. And like, it's just a hilarious and in my opinion, entertaining blend of action comedy right there. And it's just, in my opinion, amazing. So if you guys have not seen the Lego Movie, I would definitely recommend it strongly because I think it's an excellent film that does deserve of lots of watches. Because I've watched this one many times, it's always so much fun to watch. However, if I was thinking in bad quality, so there's unfortunately one character in this film who I'm personally not really a fan of, and that's unfortunately Wildstyle. Because personally, guys, I found her pretty annoying in this, and wasn't really a fan of her that much, to be honest. And it also doesn't help that she's voiced by an actress who I lost respect for recently, which is Elizabeth Banks, because I'm not a fan of her at all nowadays, after I lost respect for her. And And my disrespect for her, unfortunately, of course, affects what I think of a character in this, because it's very hard to separate the character from who voices her, really, because I personally find the character very annoying, and it's just a shame, really. But other than that, though, aside from that bad quality I just mentioned, the film, still in my opinion, is amazing from start to finish. And I think it was definitely, in my opinion, lots of fun. Absolutely. So, if I was to give a film a score out of 10, I'll probably give it a very solid score of 9 out of 10. Because I definitely think it's a great film that deserves lots of attention. So, if you guys haven't seen it yet, please go watch it. It's definitely, in my opinion, a great film. So, that being said, guys, this is me doing my review for 2014's The Lego Movie. So, you know the drill, guys. Be sure to give this video a like. Also, be sure to let me know in the comments what you guys think of The Lego Movie. If you see it, let me know in the comments below what you think of it. Also, be sure to join Team Prime by pressing subscribe if it's coming in the future. And everything is awesome.